And with that out of the way, we can go right ahead and talk about the winners of these NBA awards. And I know it says Naz Reid winning six-man, but first we'll talk about Tyrese Maxey winning the Most Improved Player of the Year. So last season he was averaging 20 points per game and 3 assists along with 3 rebounds as well. And he shot 43% from 3. He was much more of a spot-up threat last season than he was in this season. And he also shot 48% from the field. Now in this season, he's much more of a shot creator for the 76ers. And he's been taking a lot more shots recently. And he's taken 5 more shots, and as a result, he's been able to produce 5 more points. He's averaging 26 points per game now over the span of the season. He was selected to be an all-star for the Eastern Conference for the first time in his entire career. He also now averages 6 assists instead of 3 from last season. He also shoots a little bit better from the free throw line, as well as shooting the rest of his true shooting percentages are a little bit lower than in the last season, but that's usually to be expected when you end up taking a few more shots. So, Tyrese Maxey, he ended up winning Most Improved. At least one Sixer ended up coming out with an award this season. Obviously, Joel Embiid was sort of expected to win MVP if he would have stayed healthy, but that unfortunately did not really pan out the same way that Embiid would have thought or that most Sixers fans would have thought. And again, Tyrese Maxey winning this award, he was obviously he was there for the team a lot more than Joel Embiid this season, given how he met the 65-game threshold by playing in 70 games. So he started in every single one of these games, which was a big difference maker for Maxey since last season he didn't start in every single game. But regardless, this was this team was still developing, I guess you could say, and with excuse me, I'm just scratching my knee. With the team developing the way that it has been developing, now Tyrese Maxey is sort of expected to fall into that second player, that second option, now that James Harden isn't on the team anymore, and he's definitely filled that role nicely for the Sixers. However unfortunate it may be that they are now down 2-0 in the series against the Knicks. And obviously, even though Maxey, he won this award, I don't think that this is going to be enough to really save the 76ers from losing in the postseason, because like I said previously, I think the Knicks already have this matchup down, and it's really just a matter of time before this Knicks team ends up coming out with the win. And with this in mind, again, I really don't think there's much to talk about on the Sixers side, regardless of how valuable this award is to a player like Maxey, because now he's finally getting the recognition he feels he deserves in the NBA for his production, for his offense, and all of that. But now onto the more controversial of the winners is Naz Reid, who ended up winning Sixth-Man of the Year over Malik Monk, who was considered the favorite to win the Sixth-Man of the Year award over Naz Reid. Over everyone, nobody really thought that anyone was going to win the Sixth-Man of the Year, even though Malik Monk did get injured, which was honestly probably the big difference maker that set apart the two players, when ultimately deciding who was going to win the award. Because the fact that Malik Monk got injured, it sort of paved the way for Naz Reid to sort of make a statement for himself and solidify himself as the sixth man of the year, despite the fact that we might not agree on that 100%. Now, one of the things that I do find a little bit odd is how all of these award winners so far, they're in the playoffs. And there hasn't really been one player that has won it who it was just successful in the regular season as of right now. And I find it's a little bit odd, but regardless, like, I still think that Malik Monk, he deserved to win this sixth man of the year. He had the most points coming off of the bench this season, and there's really the only real case for him not really winning this award was him getting injured, and I really don't think that should be held. He should be held accountable for that, because that's just really unfair. Now, Reid, while I don't really think he deserved this award over Monk, he did earn the award, but it was so there's little room to really argue about the fact that Reid didn't have an impressive season, because he really did. And Reid averaged 13 points and 5 rebounds per game with 47, 41, and 73% shooting splits. But he also boosted his stats by starting in 14 games for Minnesota toward the end of the season. Monk averaged 15 points and 5 assists per game with 44, 35, and 82 shooting splits coming off the bench in each of his 72 appearances. So Monk propelled himself to around minus 1,000 odds to win the award across most of the sports books. But after going down with the season-ending MCL sprain, the gap between Monk and Reid closed vastly. And without taking any shine away from Reid, if the award is really about the best player coming off the bench, then I feel like Malik Monk really deserved it this season. Again, he had the most points coming off the bench, most assists coming off the bench, most 20-point games coming off the bench, most 25-point games coming off the bench, as well as most clutch points, field goals, and three-point makes coming off the bench. So all of this in mind, and with all of these numbers, it's like, how could you argue that Monk isn't the sixth man of the year with all that he's been doing? He also became the first player in the last 35 years to lead the league in bench points in back-to-back seasons without taking home the sixth man of the year in any of those seasons. So this is these achievements, they're obviously they speak on his talents. However, you don't want to be on the wrong side of that. Obviously, you want the hardware to prove that you are the player that you know that you are. And the fact that he's just not getting this hardware is just definitely takes a toll. And so, despite the fact that Monk and Reid both had a tremendous season, Monk's season as Sacramento's sixth man was kind of historic. And the voters, they really seem to rob Monk of well-deserved award, and the stats will always be there to support his case. The league's recency bias with Monk's injury combined with Naz Reid's starting role is a little bit unjust, giving the award to Reid instead of Monk. And it's really I think it's genuinely unfair for how this player, I think it's unfair for this player, despite the fact that he did go down with an injury. Again, it's sort of like he's being held accountable for that injury when it's unfair for him. And they really, I definitely feel like Malik Monk really deserved to win this award in favor of someone like Naz Reid. But that's really all I have to say about the awards so far. We still have a few more days left before they reveal who the MVP is going to be, who the Rookie of the Year is going to be, and the Clutch Player of the Year is going to be announced today at 6. And the Coach of the Year is going to be announced on Sunday at 5:30, even though I'm pretty sure it's going to be the Oklahoma City head coach, given how he has led the youngest team to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference. Next, the Rookie of the Year is still unknown. Same with the MVP, but chances are Rookie of the Year is going to be announced before they announce the MVP. And besides that, there's really nothing else that there needs to be talking about with these awards. So now I will go ahead and pivot onto the second segment, where I'm going to talk about the Miami Heat winning their Game 2 matchup against the Boston Celtics. Despite all the momentum that the Boston Celtics have had in this postseason, and despite all the downfall that the Miami Heat have had in this postseason, the Heat have somehow been able to come and win a game against the Boston Celtics, which is, again, rather surprising. So I will explain a little bit more of that after this short break, and sort of what happened, why the Heat ended up winning, and just stay tuned after this break.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift. Oh.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world